Hey guys, it is Vaping Cookie, and I am here with a video, probably the most important video that I will ever do. And got my business suit on, I'm suited up, and I'm not going to be all happy and smiley in this video like I normally am. I'm sorry. You know, my goal for this channel, from the very first video that I ever did, was talking about making the switch from tobacco cigarettes to vaping. And, I have made many mistakes along the way. You guys have seen me mess up and correct myself, and I am the first one to do that when I mess up. But my goal for this channel has always been the same. It is the channel for the beginner vapor. It is the channel for the person looking to make the switch. And it's so important that we talk about these FDA deeming regulations that are proposed but yet are coming. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to go over the things that I found important. I did read over the regulations and had many questions. Some of it is quite vague, and I'm just going to go over the things that to me are the most alarming and the things that we need to be talking about, because we have 75 days as it stands now. We have 75 days to comment. And the first thing, the most important thing that I want to get across to you, because if you're like me and, I still consider myself kind of a beginner, even though now I am a year in. I am a year in, actually, in a few minutes now. So, hold your comment. Hold your comment for as long as you can. All of the organizations that are out there are preparing templates. Now, that doesn't mean you need to stick to the template, but there are going to be key things that you want to say in your response. The more scientific, the more dignified, and the more encompassing our comments are, the better. So the longer that you can wait within that 75 days, the better. Hopefully, what you can do right now, and I believe the most important thing that you can do right now, is ask the FDA for more time. These regulations took years to come up with, and we need more time to get our thoughts together, our science, not that we don't have it, but all together in one unified voice. We need more time. So I'm going to provide the link to the FDA's website where you can go on there yourself and you can ask for more time. That is so important. To give us only 75 days to respond makes no sense at all. And so it's very important that as many of us as possible ask for more time. So there are the things that you can do. I'm going to get into the political things that you can do as I go through the rest of my little speech here. But there are political things that you can do to take action right now. But if you only do two things, please do those two as a priority. After that, you need to get political, but we'll get into that too. Okay, so the main thing about these regulations that I'm noticing that most people are confused or misled about is that they are going to be the final rule. No. These are deeming regulations. These are the framework for plenty of things to come. And that is so scary to me, because things that I see different companies and I see different people, both on Facebook and Twitter, being excited about is that they didn't go after flavors. I was listening to Kevin's audio show the other night on the VP Live Network, and I'm going to go ahead and link all of these things that I'm talking about. And Mitch Zeller, who is the head of the tobacco portion of the FDA, was talking about not being able to regulate flavors until this deeming regulation turns into law. So those things are coming too. If we don't put our foot down now, if we don't stop this now, then we give them free rein to come after things like flavors. That's why you're seeing all of this in the media. It's important to understand that the FDA does not care about tobacco harm reduction. They are not even looking at this as tobacco harm reduction. They are not looking at this as a life-saving device. For me, this has been a life-saving device. I have lost two grandfathers. I have lost uncles. I could have lost more uncles and aunts, and my son could have lost me if it weren't for electronic cigarettes. I don't want this to continue in my family. I don't want this to continue for myself. And when I think about this as a life-saving device, what would happen if these regulations come about because of what they will do to e-liquid is that they would move our entire industry underground into a black market situation. And that would really become life or death. People are still going to somehow acquire nicotine, and people are going to be mixing that nicotine in their own liquids, and that could be deadly. I don't understand how the FDA doesn't understand that. They've been told, but they're not getting that. Those kind of things need to make their way into that comment period. Your comment is so important. Not just your comment, but the comments of your friends and your family, the people who are around you, who have watched you change to e-cigarettes, who are watching you add time to your life. That is going to be so important. The more people that we can get to comment and comment appropriately, the better. It's even better if my mom makes a comment about the changes that she's seen in me and what would happen if this industry goes away effectively. Okay, these regulations are in effect prohibition. Again, I will say that these regulations in their current form are effectively prohibition. They are going after e-liquids. Why do I say that? A lot of people believe that there's this process where you just disclose all of your ingredients and you show your lab and you're good to go. This is not that. The application process isn't like submitting an application to buy a new car or to get into college. This application process would be so expensive that it will push almost all of the e-liquid manufacturers that you currently buy your liquids from out of the market. The only people that will be able to survive are the ones who can afford it. A new application process can cost up to $10 million. Think about that, $10 million. Which vendor do you order from currently that could come up with $10 million? And that's just a roundabout number. Now think of it this way. You guys know I like to talk about Mount Baker Vapor, right? Mount Baker Vapor, let's say they have, 100 flavors, right? Then each of their flavors they have to submit the application for. Each nicotine strength within that flavor they would have to submit the application for. This is not cheap, and this is not something that people who give different flavors are going to be able to afford. Big Tobacco will be able to afford it. They have menthol and they have non-menthol traditional tobacco. That is much easier, and they are backed by much more money. That's why you've seen these tobacco companies getting in the electronic cigarette game. That's why you're seeing these vendors who have menthol, cig-alike tobacco products saying, we like the regulation, we think it's great. But your mom and pop places, they won't make it. So how many jobs, just think about that, how many jobs are on the line? How many people's livelihood is on the line? The FDA does not seem to understand that. That's something else to put in your comments. All of these things, if you look at the bigger picture, they have to be part of your comments. The other thing that makes me laugh is substantial equivalence. The date that Congress has picked for substantial equivalence is February 15th, 2007. Now, February 15th, 2007, by the way, is a number that came about because the big tobacco companies actually helped write that date with the Tobacco Control Act. But regardless of that, there were no e-cigarette manufacturers, no e-liquid companies that we would use that were doing business back in 2007. So substantial equivalence is completely off the table. These would all be new product applications. It's very expensive, and it's something that often does not get approved. Big companies, pharmaceutical companies, they don't get approved. How are we going to get approved? How are our liquid manufacturers going to be approved? This is crazy. Is this not crazy? Everything I go through on my list here, it just gets crazier and crazier. The next thing that I worry about is it completely stifles innovation. How many times do you see in the news now, because they love to talk about these stories, where somebody uses their iPhone charger to charge their ego battery and it melts, or they say it explodes? we are completely cutting off the future of these devices that do not ever melt, no matter what you plug them into. What about flavorings? Think about that. How many flavorings could come out for e-liquids that we manufacture that are safer for us to inhale, that have been tested safe for us to inhale? Think about that. All of that is off the table with these regulations. All of the people out there doing great things. First, please, if you have, Apple iTunes, an iPhone, an iPad, anything like that, please log on to podcast. Please subscribe to the VP Live Network. I am no longer really, affiliated with the VP Live Network. The Vape team has gone on to Vape Team Media on YouTube. Dimitri has a show, but I'm not part of that show or anything. But he, Kevin, Russ, everybody there is covering these regulations beautifully. The people that they are having on, the contacts that they have, these shows have been so informative this past week. If you can, please get on Twitter. And I know that sounds weird. Twitter wasn't something I thought would ever appeal to me, but it is the quickest way to get information, the easiest, most concise way to get information about these regulations, just through the sharing, the retweets. Please follow Greg, THC, that's Greg Connolly. He is absolutely amazing. He's out there fighting this fight for us, and I just have learned so much from him. When I told him that I was going to be doing this video, actually I asked him, what's the one thing that I need to get across to beginner vapors? And he said, please have them understand that this is getting rid of this industry through e-liquid, that this is an attack on e-liquid because of the application process, because of no substantial equivalence. So I came back to him and I asked him about something I had heard on Kevin's show. Bill Godshaw was on that show, and again, I will put the replay through SoundCloud something in the description here because you got to listen to that show. Please listen to that show. And he was saying that if we can somehow get a regime change in Congress in 2014, this will all go away. This administration's agenda will go away. Think about that. Congress controls the FDA. There are so many elections coming up. I just want to share with you this message. Greg, I hope that it was okay for me to do that because it was a direct message from you. He said, just mention the sad reality is that at the federal level, not a single Republican has ever opposed vaping. At the state level, 95% plus of those voting against vaping are Democrats. Now, I heard a few months ago on Russ's show, there was a lady that had come on from the Huffington Post, and she was talking about Democrats being opposed to e-cigarettes. And I was like, why? Aren't those the public health people? Aren't those the people, first of all, I don't really affiliate completely with either party. I'm not here to tell you that. But I have become, now, because of this, I have become a single issue voter. There are so many key states. I've been researching this. If Congress changed to a Republican Congress, all of this could go away. Think about that. People in these states, Senate key states, Montana, North Carolina, Louisiana, South Dakota, those are all toss-up states. It's anybody's game. If all of those changed, think about that. Toss-up states for the House, Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Iowa, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York. There are so many other states on my little paper here that could go either way, that are leaning one way or the other. Think about this. It is so important now more than ever to get political. I saw a call to action from CASA the other day, and it was a press release. Actually found that through Phil P. Basardo. And all of those things that you see, please share them, but also, please, easily you could do what that one said. It said get in your local media. Share this press release with everyone that you can. If you can affect change at a local level, not just with your congressman, but also with your local newspapers, your local media. Public opinion right now is against us completely. I was on just getting ready for work the other day, and I was watching CNN because I've been absolutely obsessed with the hunt for Malaysian flight MH370. Any of you who follow me on Twitter will know that. And Chris Cuomo, who I've always loved, a former smoker, by the way, gets on and he says, "This is common sense, it's smoking." Talking about e-cigarettes because it was the day the regs were released. And I got so mad. I was literally running out the door trying to get my son to school on time, and I'm tweeting Chris Cuomo. The amazing thing about Twitter is that people actually respond to you. I got a response from Chris Cuomo, and he was trying to justify at first what he was saying, and luckily Kevin got on there with me and we just started just going tit for tat with him. Other people got involved. You can affect change that easy. No, did we change his mind? But no, he did come across and say, well, yeah, they're way less harmful, duh. Because we asked him, should we go back to smoking? Should we go back to smoking? And I get it. You guys are going to be vapors. I'm going to be a vapor. Proud to be a vapor. I will stockpile. I've heard that from many people. This is not about stockpiling. This is not about buying nicotine and mixing it all yourselves. Hey, DIY is cool. That's fine. I'm talking about the future. What about the kid who just lit up his first cigarette today? What about him or her? What about the people you walk by and you see smoking outside the restaurant that you go to every day for lunch? What about the person who's been smoking for 40 years? What about them? What about the future of this industry for them? You have to do something. Please join me. If you never ever share another one of my videos, if you find me annoying, please share this video. Please, if you make videos, I have lots of people that watch my videos that make videos. Please make a video like this. Please share it. Show it to people who are not e-cigarette users. Show it to your mom. Show it to your sister, your brother, your friends. Share it on Facebook. Please share it. Please get Twitter. Please follow these people. I'm including links to Nick Grim Green's video. I thought it was excellent. I'm including the show that Kevin just did. I will also include the show that Dimitri is doing that I just listened to right now. And also a blog post that he did listing all of the science involved that you can include with your comments. Pay attention to Kasa. Pay attention to Greg. When we comment as precisely as just be as dignified and science-based as you can, but please tell them your story. Share your story. Have your mom comment. Have your brother, your husband, your boyfriend, your friends. Have them comment about the change that this has been in your life. Just do something. I didn't mean to get emotional. That's the first time I think I've ever done that in a video. Just cut it off now. But do something. Suit up. Do something. Hot chicks out there, do something. Suit up. Do something. I will talk to you guys soon. I will be back to business as usual. I will come on anytime that I know something else to share with you along these lines. But if not, we're going to get back to the business of vaping. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.